suffer from travel anxiety too. Yeah, me too. I know. It's so annoying. Yeah, you're worried about, are you forgetting something? Is there something you forgot to pack? Is there something you left on? Is there yada yada yada? I get it. I get it. Breathe. You're gonna be okay. We're gonna get through it. You're gonna have a great trip. Everything's gonna be fine. And at the same time, you have anxiety around it. Okay, so here's what I find effective for travel anxiety. Making a list. So if you would like to, go ahead and grab a pen and paper, pencil, whatever you prefer, and write down all the things that you need. And let's start off with the basics, okay? So, what do you need in your toiletry kit? You need a toothbrush. I have definitely forgotten a toothbrush before. Luckily, you can just go buy one. It's not the end of the world. But, you don't want to have to go buy a toothbrush when you land, right? Okay, so you have your toothbrush. Good. Toothpaste. Good. Floss. Don't forget your floss. Good. Also in my toiletry bag, I always want to make sure that I have fingernail clippers. Having a hangnail is annoying. And I always also carry I always like to bring tweezers. You never know when you need to tweeze something. Listen, things need to be tweezed. It's part of being a human, especially when you're a furry human like me, and I'm always tweezing things. Weird hairs, like weird hairs that grow in your ears, and the nonsense you have to worry about when you get older. So toothbrush, toothpaste, fingernail clippers, maybe a nail file, maybe like using a nail file for getting rid of a hangnail. I always have a nail file, floss, toothpaste, deodorant. If you use deodorant, I do. I know there's mixed feelings on deodorant. Some people say you shouldn't use deodorant. They're probably right. However, in the words of Chuck Norris, the best defense is not to offend. Okay. I always need to make sure that I have something for my hair, some kind of a comb or a brush. I need to make sure I bring like some product for my hair. This does not happen by itself. Yeah, I gotta put what's in my hair. And then what else do you want to put in your toiletry kit? Lotion. I always bring face lotion, especially with SPF. Oil of Olay makes it nice, and you want to have it in like, less than 3.5 ounces or something. So you want to have a small lotion, although I've often brought a medium-sized bottle of like Oil of Olay with like SPF 15 in it, and haven't had an issue getting through TSA. Although, just be prepared that if you catch an agent on a bad day, they may confiscate it and throw it away if it's over like 6 ounces or something. So, use at your own risk. But bring some kind of a lotion. Ladies, makeup, men, I don't know, maybe you wear makeup, I don't care. But if you wear makeup, you want to bring some makeup and makeup remover. What other little things do I like keeping in my toiletry kit? But those are the basics, right? Those are like the main things. Personal grooming. And then clothing. So you gotta think, how long are you gonna be gone? Before you leave, check the weather forecast. what's the weather going to be like there? It may be totally different than the weather where you're at, right? Yeah, so check the weather forecast, check the extended weather forecast. Yeah, Lucy's relaxing, so Lucy approves. That's my dog, for those that don't know, snoring in the background. Check the weather forecast. I always try to bring clothes you can layer. It's nice to be able to, layering helps with thermal control, you know? Plus I think it looks good. So, clothes that it can layer. Is there going to be a swimming pool or a hot tub, a jacuzzi? You know, if there is, maybe throw in a bathing suit. I usually throw in a bathing suit for a lot of trips I take, just because they're really small. And who knows? There's one thing I do know, is that if given an opportunity to go into a pool, lake, river, stream, or hot tub, and I don't have a bathing suit, it's a bummer. So I always throw one in, usually, unless I'm positive I'm not going to be swimming. Toss one in. So underwear, obviously, socks for however long you're going to be gone. You know, pants, shorts, t-shirts. Like I said, something to layer, some kind of a jacket, flannel, things you can, you know, I'm not gonna tell you how to dress yourself. But you know, underwear, socks, toiletries, basic clothing, maybe a jacket, maybe a footwear. What kind of, you know, you want to be wearing flip-flops? Do you want to wear tennis shoes? Do you want to have something you can dress up, you know? So, and again, it's all about making your lists, right? Okay, then, how are you going to get to the airport, right? You have an early flight. It's totally cool. Did you know that you can pre-order your Ubers and Lyfts? My wife recently took a trip, and like me, she gets travel anxiety. She actually gets worse travel anxiety than I do. And but being able to order your ride to the airport the night before, and you can set up your pickup time, it's very convenient. So schedule your Uber or your Lyft, and that way you can tick it off your list. And you got to think about entertainment. Do you want to bring a book, an iPad, computer? If you're a very, very fancy flyer, maybe you have a one of those Apple Vision Pros, so you'll just be sitting there wearing like your goggles set on the plane and just be like watching your own like giant TV screen. I don't have one. I don't actually know anybody personally that has one. But if you have one, that might be awesome. I like bringing in, I like buying a book at the airport. I don't know why. There's something about it. Going into the airport, going into, you know, the Hudson Books or whatever bookstore they have, picking out a book from your favorite author, you know, or trying something new. But I like having an old school book as well, or your Kindle, you know, your ebook reader, whatever you use. Some entertainment. So we have entertainment. I always like bringing some basic snacks. I like having a couple little bars in my backpack. When I travel, I usually have a backpack and a suitcase, and if I can avoid checking bags at all costs, I avoid checking bags at all costs. Sometimes we must, and it is part of life sometimes. But if I can avoid checking a bag, I do. And periodically, like right now, remember, breathe. Take a breath with me. you're safe. You're going to be safe. You're going to be okay. You're okay right now. It's gonna be okay. Breathe. It's going to be okay. I mean, in a worst case scenario, worst case, you literally go flying and you forget your suitcase, okay? You only have your backpack. Would you be okay? Probably. You know what I mean? You know, you would land and you go, oh no, I don't have anything. And you would go buy a new shirt or pants if you wanted to, or whatever. You know, the point is, if you're living and you're traveling in the West, so, you know, North America, Canada, even Mexico, all over Europe, Australia, New Zealand, but this really extends to, I mean, I don't care, Brazil, Argentina, whatever. You know what all those countries have? Stores. Every single one of those countries has stores. And every single one of those countries has millions of people that are doing just fine. So, worst case scenario, if you forget something, you can buy it when you get there. The only really important stuff for me, if I'm being honest, would be like my phone. But I don't know about you, I'm so attached to my phone that if I don't feel it, like in the front of my pant pocket, I get like weird. I feel strange. Like I am so used to having the feeling of this big, chunky rectangle in my right front pocket that I immediately notice when it's not there. Are you the same way? That's how I am. So as long as I have my phone and the clothes on my back and my wallet, my ID, don't forget your ID. You know, if you're traveling internationally, make sure you update. You have your passport. So I have your travel documents. I like to keep those in my backpack as well, like any important travel documents, because my backpack, no matter what, is coming with me on the plane, right? So I try to keep anything that's like super essential on me in my backpack. Like I said, worst case scenario, they make you check your bag, and your bag ends up in Timbuktu. You're still gonna be okay, right? I mean, worst case scenario, you're still gonna be okay. So, breathe. Breathe. Everything is going to be okay. You're gonna have a great trip. You're going to have a wonderful time. You're gonna make memories and see new things. That's another thing that's really, really important about traveling. It's that, you know, I don't know about you, but can you recall with much detail exactly what you did over the last 5 days? Like in detail. Like describe your day 4 days ago. Like kinda, right? But we all have routine, and that's fine. It's good. It's good to have routine. Routine is comforting. Humans, we hate chaos. You know, we always joke about that. About like, you know, oh, I'm bringing the chaos. But in the reality, humans across the planet, we really don't like chaos. We like knowing. We like structure. We like order. And that's kind of a universal, which is cool. So true for me and it's true for you. So, okay. So we have, you know you're gonna be okay, right? Look at me. You know you're gonna be okay, right? Yeah. Of course you're gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine. You got this. You got this. You're making a list. You have your list of essential items, right? You've checked the weather forecast. You have your travel documents, if you're, like I said, passport. Also, random tip. Don't wait until the last minute to update your passport. Yeah, like if your passport is expiring in a year or two, maybe even, just start considering, like, okay, because it's going to take over a month if you live in the United States. I don't know how long it takes to get a passport in Europe or other places, but it's kind of a slow process. And yes, you can get it expedited, but that's just one more stress you don't want to have, and you don't want to put that off until the last minute, right? Right, so get that done. And for me, what I find, super useful in dealing with anxiety and for traveling is to not procrastinate. Procrastination causes me anxiety, and I like to leave for the airport at least 2 hours early, usually like 2.5 or sometimes 3 hours early, because again, what do they say? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, right? So if I get to the airport early and there's super long lines to get through security, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna be okay. I have time. I'm not rushing. And I don't know about you, but I find like my anxiety doesn't go away. It starts to go away once I get into the Uber. Once I'm on my way to the airport, my anxiety starts to trickle down. And once I get to the airport, it's a little less. But once I'm through security and I have made eye contact with my gate, and I see, okay, there's my gate, there's the flight attendant, there's the check-in, and I have an hour and a half before we board. Are we on time? Yes, we're on time. Great. Then I can truly relax. It's like once I'm in the terminal, through security, then I can just breathe. Maybe go to a restaurant, buy a book, have a beer, just start my vacation and just relax. You know what I'm saying? And yes, I'm aware that buying a beer in an airport is insanely a ripoff. But I consider that part of my treat, my travel treat, is once I'm inside the terminal, I'm looking at my gate and I'm good to go, that I allow myself the reward of a stupid $14 beer. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's robbery. Alright, so you're gonna be okay. You got this. Make your list. Check it twice. Find out if you're naughty or nice. Are you naughty or nice? Nah, you're nice. You know you're nice. Stop it. Stop it. You know you're a nice person. And, know you're gonna be okay. And consider the worst possible scenario in which you show up at the airport with only your clothes and your phone and your wallet or your purse. Even then, you would probably be okay, right? Yeah. So hang in there. You got this. Alright. Go get him, Tiger. Any if you're about to go to sleep, enjoy a good nap. Sleepy fingers, sleepy fingers, sleepy